Hey guys, Nate here with the Volunteer Tech Vlog on the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel. Got some sun in my eyes right now. Make for a nice little intro. So, yeah, I just wanted to record a little vlog video this morning. Couple things. So I recorded an interview with Eli, the computer guy, this week, which for me was pretty cool. So the interview is for the AVShopTalk podcast. I just chatted with Nathan Lively about sound system tuning in episode 27, which is now released. That's at avshoptalk.com/episode 27 if you want to check that out. And so I just recorded the next one, which is going to be released May 1st. And I chatted about AV-IT convergence with somebody from the IT world. So Eli, the computer guy, a YouTube star, if you will, and small business owner. So I just wanted to chat with his perspective on AV and unified communications and video conferencing and some of these new web-based platforms like Pixip that are using Amazon Web Services for its hyper scalability and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So if that sounds interesting to you, you might want to check out episode 28, which will be released May 1st. Excuse me. But in other news, so I'm getting some comments about like the video being like mirrored. People are like, are you in the UK or is your video mirrored? And it's like, it's this weird deal with like the phone here. So like my workflow is super simple for recording these videos. I just got the Samsung Galaxy S5 phone. I got the front-facing, rear-facing video recording at the same time. So the picture-in-picture that you see is something that just happens automatically. So I record the video like this, and then it just gets published right on out to YouTube natively. So I'm not doing any editing. Sometimes I'll do some like jump cuts if if I reach my limit. If I talk too much, the camera only records in like 5-minute and 10-minute increments. So I'll get cut off sometimes and I'll just hit record again and I'll just splice them together. A basic video editing on the phone. But then it just goes up to YouTube, and that's the beauty of vlogging, is just kind of chatting candidly about something and just getting those ideas right on up there. It's fun. It's fun to do. I enjoy it. It's fun practice. So yeah, I wanted to chat more about that interview with, well, I didn't really talk about, so the camera's flipped. I guess that's just how Samsung does it when you hit that flip button if you want to switch the picture-in-picture. So, just talk about that real quick. So, right now, like, for the last, like, 10 or 15 videos I did, I had me on, like, the main screen, and then I had, like, the road, what you would see looking out my windshield. I had that up in like the little picture-in-picture box up in the corner. And so for this video, I switched it to see if it would still be reversed, because I thought that's why it reversed it, because it's something with how it's processing the cameras or whatever. I don't know, maybe in video editing I can unmirror it, or that would be even more weird. You have a mirror image of a mirror image. They cancel out? I don't know, I'm confusing myself right now. Oh, so anyway, that's the deal with the phone. I got some comments on that this week, but I switched the cameras around, so the road is on the big screen, and then the little windowing picture-in-picture thing is my talking head, which you can't really see very well right now. Anyway, so this is the point where I'm getting up to the 5-minute mark, and it will automatically shut down. Well, no, I've got like 4 minutes and 15 seconds, so I can talk a little bit longer. Eli, the computer guy. Yeah, so I've been following Eli since probably around 2010, on and off. And I was looking for information on openDNS. So DNS, domain name servers, or domain name serving, is basically the phone book for the internet, how the internet works. Like when you type in a www address, there's really what's happening in the background. Like there's names given to these addresses that computers understand. Oh, how's that? How's that? I got cut off, and I'll flip the video mid-video. So I'll switch the picture-in-picture mid-video so you can see what that looks like. And I can see what that looks like when I splice it all together. So domain name serving. Essentially, there's a bunch of IP addresses that are the back end of the internet. You know, 192.168. Blah, 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 or whatever scheme you use. And so there's IP addresses that redirect to servers. And the domain name server is like the phone book because it allows people to remember names like AVShopTalk.com, and you don't have to remember my unique IP address associated with my Bluehost account per se. You know what I mean? You can just go to anyway. That's how DNS works. And there was a program called openDNS that is like a filter that you can tell your router to resolve DNS to different DNS servers. Like by default, I didn't really realize I was going to be talking about this in this video, but this is kind of like how I found out about Eli, the computer guy. You essentially can change the DNS server. Like by default, your ISP has DNS servers that you don't have to think about. Just automatically when you set up your ISP, your internet connection, and your routers, automatically you're gonna resolve to Verizon's DNS servers or AT&T or Comcast or whatever you've got. But there's a service called openDNS, and if you use openDNS, you install a little application on your computer and you set up your account and your dashboard online that you can log into, and you change the DNS server name or server address in your router so that all the traffic going through your router at home or at your business resolves to the openDNS routers. And so what that allows you to do is apply filters to all the network traffic that comes through your main router, which I thought was pretty cool. So I was learning about that, and I found out about Eli and thought, wow, he's pretty good at explaining complicated things, and started following along with him and commenting and such. And then after a while, he started to recognize me from commenting, and he'd give me shout outs and some videos. So anyway, long story short, I've kind of been following Eli for a while, and there's a handful of people that Eli will respond to, or quote, cares about, or whatever. So Eli was gracious enough to come on the podcast and talk shop. Now, I thought he would be an interesting guest on an AV podcast, because you've got this whole idea of convergence, right? So all the technology in a building is converging these days onto one single network. And you used to have separate a separate phone network, a separate closed circuit TV, like a security camera network. You could have access control, VoIP. It used to be that all these things were siloed, or you had all these parallel networks that were running next to each other. So that meant you had to pull more cable, you had to do all kinds of extra infrastructure to support these different things. Well, nowadays, networks are getting so robust, you can get a 10 gig, a 40 gig, 100 gig network. You can run fiber, you can run Cat6, you can support very high bandwidth. So you can put a lot of things on the network. And so convergence is this idea of everything, all these disparate systems converging onto the same big, fat, robust network. And that's just the reality of where things are going in the tech world. That's the most efficient way to do it. It's the easiest way to manage all these different things, because everything's reporting back to the same network, and you don't have all these disparate systems that you're trying to manage independently. So and headaches do come up because of that. But anyway, that's kind of this trend that's been going on for like the last 15-20 years. And so Eli and I had a chance to talk shop about some new cool technology, and we mentioned a couple different articles, and I got his take on his perspective of the AV industry as an outsider coming from the IT world. So anyway, that was very cool. Definitely check out AV Shop Talk episode 28 when it comes out.